Okay, this is Prickly Pear. This is block 3. This is part 4. Hopefully this will be the last part of this block, but we're going to start cutting out our fabric. And what we're going to do, we're going to cut the pink. We're going to start with pink, which are our 4 corners, and we need 2.5 by 2.5 inch square blocks. Okay, so we're going to cut 2.5 by 2.5 inch. And we need 4 of these. I think I can get 4 out of that. We're going to see. And if you've been with us through this whole thing, we're just picking random blocks and we're doing random colors. Colors cannot go back in once they have been picked. So there's 2. And then we're going to, I'm going to take off that piece right there because I can. And so we're going to do 2 more. 3, and we need 1 more. Oops, I got out of the camera. Sorry. So we need 1 more. Okay, so we have A. Now we're going to do, we're done with the pink. So we only need the pink for a little bit. So now we're going to do B, which we're going to do, these are the triangles because it's the blue. And so we're going to cut 2.5 by 7/8 block, but we're going to cut them in half. And we need 20 of those blocks. This is what we're using. And I'm not worried about matching up my anything because this is, like I said, this is a chaos quilt. So I'm going to cut this edge off and then we're going to go from there. So we're doing 2 7/8. So I've got 4, and so we're going to do the rest of these. So this is not long enough, so we're going to have to open this up. And I'll cut this in half. And I'm going to do the rest of these off camera so that way it'll make this go a little bit faster. But this is all we're doing is we're cutting 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 squares and then cutting them in half. And we need 20 of those, 20 triangles. And now we're going to do the green, which are these right here, the triangles in the middle. And we are going to cut them 4 7/8 by 4 7/8. And then we need one square that is 2.5 by 2.5. Okay, we're going to cut the 2.5 by 2.5. And we needed just one of these. This is just for our center. And so I did cut extra of these. And so what I will do, because I did cut a big strip of this, I have tubs that I keep my overflow in, and I will just cut all these up in 2.5 by 2.5. And I make quilts out of my scraps by that, so I will use that for that. Now we're going to do we need 4 triangles but we're going to cut 4 squares of 4 7/8 by 4 7/8. I have to use a little bit bigger ruler for this one. Make sure I'm on my lines here. And so then we're going to get it squared up here. And then we'll cut this in half. So we'll cut, I know there's a little crease there, but it'll be fine. So we're going to cut this in half. Hopefully I'm in the camera because I can't see if I'm in the camera. So we're just cutting corner to corner. You can line it up with your mat if you want. I don't normally do that typically, but you can. So there's 2 and we need 1 more. Okay, next we're going to do the squares, the purple squares, which is E, and we need 2.5 by 2.5 squares. We need 4 of those. Looks like there's going to be another part to this video, so you guys will just have to stay tuned to the making of it. And so I need 4 of these. So there's 2. And we need 2 more. Okay, so we got 4. Next, we're going to do the white, and we need 4 blocks of 2.5 by 2.5. So we're going to cut those real quick. Okay, we just need 4 of these, and I think we'll save just a little bit of end. I think this is already cut at 2.5. So we just got to take off the end a little bit to make sure we even it up. Whoops, I'm kind of out on my camera a little bit. Sorry about that. So we got 4. So there's our 4. And so these are of white. And then we need 2 7/8. We need 20 of the 2 7/8, which will go right around with our blue triangles. And then we need 2 to cut 4 7/8 by 4 7/8, and then we'll cut those blocks in half. Okay, so we're doing these 2 7/8, and we have to have 20 of these. So I'm only going to cut 1, and then we'll go from there because I want to try to get the other in the video. And so then we'll just cut this in half, and then we have our 2 7/8. We have 4 of those out of 20. Last but not least, we need the 4 squares cut at 4 7/8 by 4 7/8, and then we need to cut those in half. Actually, we only need 2 of those squares, but it'll make 4. So cut that, and then we're going to take off this edge, and then I should have this. Oh, I'm still not in the camera. Sorry, it's hard to keep this in the camera. I'm trying to hurry because I don't want this to be another. I don't have to cut in the next video. I want to have this all done. Okay, and so then we're going to cut this at 4 7/8 by 4 7/8. And then we're going to cut this in half, and that'll give us our 4 triangles. So stay tuned to the next video for when we put the block together. And so there's our 4.